Of the demonstrations in Los Angeles, and tensions are rising with one California senator thrown out of a Homeland Security press conference today. We've got that moment caught on camera.
And hot and dry conditions continue for us here in the desert. More on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 5 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. Do you know your First Amendment protesting rights? That's tonight's top story. And tonight, the Palm Springs Police Department is hosting a workshop event, inviting locals to come and learn how to peacefully exercise their First Amendment rights to free speech. Let's go to Brett Rosen, who's live outside the police station tonight with more on what local officials and protest organizers are telling him. Brett?
Mark, this in-person training course hosted by Palm Springs Police Department has just gone underway. They started at 5 o'clock, and from their social media posts earlier, they had talked about tonight's all about being informative about the regulations and protocols when doing a peaceful protest. Now, I get to speak with different organizers of the different protests here around the valley, as this is coming a couple days before the No Kings protest happening around the country. Now, there's a couple here in the Coachella Valley, and protest organizers are telling me it's key to have law enforcement and organizers be in communication with each other. Take a look. This Saturday, over 1,000 different No Kings demonstrations will be held across the country. In the Coachella Valley, there will be 3, one in Palm Springs, Cathedral City, and Rancho Mirage. Emily Vogt is a co-coordinator of Saturday's rally in Palm Springs. She says she just wants their voices to be heard.
It's in response to Trump holding himself a parade on what is going to be his birthday, and it's the 200th birthday of the Army. He shouldn't be throwing himself a parade and then at the same time cutting care for veterans.
According to Vogt, about 1,200 people have signed up for the Palm Springs rally, and the expectation is more than that will show up. With plenty of participants in the rallies across the valley, local law enforcement say tonight's workshop is about keeping the community educated and safe when protesting.
Generally, we have found that we get 2 to 3 times that actually show up.
We get that they want to exercise their constitutional rights, and they have the right to protest, but we also want them to understand when they come to our city that it's done in a safe, respectful, professional manner.
Other protest organizers say keeping in constant communication with law enforcement is key for a safe and effective rally.
We've been in communication with all the police departments of all the different cities where we've protested, and it's important to keep them informed of what we're doing.
They're the experts, and we try to follow their lead on this. And it's nice to do knowing that their goal isn't to stop us. Their goal is to keep it safe.
Due to constant communication with protest organizers and law enforcement, there is an understanding on certain regulations that must be had to keep a safe rally.
The no sticks on signs is something that the police department has requested.
When we send out our information to people that want to join us, they understand that the posters that we're holding cannot have sticks. Anything that could be used as a weapon, they prefer that people not bring to the event.
Now, coming up at 6, you'll hear from Emily Vogt again, another organizer from the Palm Springs No Kings rally this Saturday, where you'll hear from her experience here at the workshop tonight at the Palm Springs Police Department, and also what you should know if you're planning on attending those different rallies around the Coachella Valley. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen, sending it back to you guys in studio.
Sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your...
Today, California Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a news conference. This was in Los Angeles. Senator Padilla seen there physically pushed out of the room by federal agents. This after he rushed toward and tried to ask Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem questions. Noem is in Los Angeles to address the ongoing demonstrations that are protesting immigration policies. During the event, Padilla interrupted Noem as she was making her first remarks and then started to shout questions at her. Shortly after that, security guards surrounded Padilla, took him out of the room. A statement from his office says he was forced to the ground and handcuffed, but he was not arrested or detained.
If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country. We will hold this administration accountable.
Noem said Padilla's approach, quote, wasn't appropriate. She wished he'd reached out to her office before interrupting the event. The two met for about 15 minutes after the incident took place. And tonight, local lawmakers are weighing in on those ongoing protests and today's altercation. We spoke with Representative Raul Ruiz.
Authoritarian dictatorship behavior. They go into communities to disrupt restaurants and workplaces, masked in unmarked cars, to separate families, people with no criminal background. They call in the National Guard without the consent or the authority of the governor of California. They call in unprepared Marines who are not trained in the civil de-escalation tactics with weapons. This is an outrage.
Local Representative Ken Calvert also sharing thoughts about what's been happening in Los Angeles as well on his X account. His statement reads in part, I fully support the ongoing arrest of criminal illegal immigrants throughout Southern California. We cannot let violent rioters dissuade us from protecting our communities.
In a phone interview with NBC Palm Springs, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, who's currently running for governor, criticized California state and LA city leadership for their response to the demonstrations that started last week. Bianco saying more than 100 of his deputies taking part in a mutual aid effort in Los Angeles over the weekend as protests against immigration and customs enforcement began. Bianco saying deputies were there to help local authorities in the region.
When Los Angeles is overwhelmed and they have exhausted their resources, they reach out to their mutual aid partners. So Los Angeles County Sheriff goes to their resources. They deploy however many they can, and they pull within Los Angeles County and Orange County all of the resources they can to handle the situation. When that is exhausted, they reach out to state mutual aid, and then that happens into that is what Riverside County is concerned with, and we send resources to help after that happens. This is routine. This happens all the time throughout California.
Bianco also saying the Sheriff's Department is not assisting in any ICE operations across the county and that the department is prepared for demonstrations countywide and across the Coachella Valley on Saturday with the No Kings rally planned in multiple cities.
Marines will be deployed to Los Angeles before the end of the week. That news from U.S. Northern Command comes as the city remains the focal point for nationwide anti-ICE protests. Los Angeles police saying they declared an unlawful assembly outside of City Hall just before last night's curfew. The police chief saying after sunset, some people come out with weapons. Officials say the vast majority of demonstrators in the daytime are law-abiding. The chief says police have not yet needed help from National Guard members, but now U.S. Northern Command says Marines will soon be deployed to Los Angeles for extra enforcement.
In some news across the country tonight, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is terminating the legal status of hundreds of thousands of migrants. DHS is expected to email termination notices to certain migrant groups that live and work in the country. The document tells recipients they could be subject to immigration enforcement if they don't leave the country. The notices will be addressed to Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans who came to the United States through the Biden administration's humanitarian parole program. Work permits tied to that program will also be revoked.
And some local news this evening. Spectrum is informing the public about an act of vandalism. It happened Wednesday in the southwest area of Palm Springs. They say individuals deliberately cut fiber lines, disrupting service for customers and businesses. The provider says they have restored service. They're now working with the Palm Springs Police Department, and they're offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information that can lead to an arrest. Anyone with information is asked to contact Spectrum. There's the number there on your screen. You can also reach out to local law enforcement if you saw anything near that Spectrum location.
The Indio Police Department will be holding a DUI checkpoint tomorrow. That's from 6 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at an undisclosed location. Checkpoint aims to remove impaired drivers and improved road safety. First-time DUI offenders can face fines around $13,500. They could also have their license suspended.
Take a live look outside from our Agua Caliente casino camera. This is Rancho Mirage. Looking almost a little bit hazy out there. Clearly not sure if it's our camera, but one thing's for sure, it is hot as we head into our Father's Day weekend. I'm thinking maybe not an outside barbecue in the afternoon for Dad, maybe more of a pool party.
Pool party. There you go. That is the place to be. You're right about that haze. I know winds are picking up a little bit for the wind quarter there, Olivia. So you're right about that. And yes, for your fathers this weekend, yeah, maybe the pool party, maybe the surf club. I was out there today. That water is perfect out there. So celebrate your dad, go surfing, get some food there. It is great out there. We got a lot coming up with them that we will talk about, I'm sure, at some point. 106 right now in downtown Palm Springs at the airport. Those winds from the east-southeast direction at this hour, 10 miles per hour. So we'll call it breezy here on the desert floor. As far as the Sangonio Pass there, breezy conditions as well. About a 17 mile per hour wind gust for Whitewater. So I do know today and tomorrow in the afternoon, evening hours, it is going to be picking up a little bit for that area, so might be giving us a little bit of that haze that Olivia is talking about. And as you know, it is Thursday, so it is Village Fest. They have new hours, 7 to 10. So if you're going to be heading out to that event, 101 at 7 o'clock, 90s through the rest of the evening. So if you're going to be heading to that event, you got to check out all those local businesses. One of them that's going to be there tonight, Zash Snacks. It's the viral Dubai bar. This just looks so delicious and I don't know, cool you off a little bit. So you can check them out. They are going to be there. And go look at their Instagram. They have all these delicious treats to cool you down with those temperatures. So go check it out. Friday, more of the same what we saw today. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 3-day forecast. So 107 for our Friday. Again, we'll stay similar for our Saturday, and then temperatures start to ramp up for our Sunday. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thanks for that. The Palm Springs International Short Fest is coming back to town for its 31st year here in the desert. The festival continues to bring in filmmakers from across the globe. Tiani Jadalang joining us live from Palm Springs tonight. She spoke with officials with the festival and shares details on what to expect. Tiani?
Mark, over 300 short films will be screened at this festival theater in Palm Springs right behind me, representing over 64 different countries and filmmakers, all starting in just 2 weeks. This is where hundreds of short films are set to hit the screen starting June 24th. It'll be home to the Palm Springs International Short Film Festival, one of the largest short film festivals in North America.
It's an Oscar qualifying, BAFTA qualifying festival. There's almost any type of genre you can think of, we have.
This year's festival focuses on 4 key programs: the Desert Docs, Shorties, Gala, and Thrills and Chills. A wide variety of options for film lovers of all ages.
We have a family-friendly programming that takes place on Saturday the 28th. It's our Shorties program, but we have horror, we have romance, comedy. I mean, it really spans the spectrum of genres.
Out of this year's 6,200 submissions, 5 films highlighting the desert qualified for the Short Film Fest.
So whether it's a local filmmaker or just a film that speaks to our community and our desert, low desert or high desert, that's a really great block of films.
Some of those locally shot films include 4 Feet Away, Richard Neutra's Maceland House, Sheepdogs, and Retrospective. But those aren't the only local ties to the film festival. The fest has a local jury program where both kids and adults can watch screened films and pick and present an award to the filmmakers.
They all watch kind of cherry-picked films that the programming team selects that highlights what their jury represents. So they watch these grouping of films and then they get to pick a winner.
The last day to attend the festival is June 30th. Giving aspiring filmmakers almost a week to watch the films and speak with filmmakers.
There's such a hub and a network going on, so you're definitely going to run into some filmmakers for sure.
Tickets are still available through their website. That's psfilmfest.org. That link should be at the bottom of your screen. Live in Palm Springs, I'm Tiani Jadalang, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, Tiani, thank you for that. Coming up next year on this Thursday night, City of Palm Springs is hosting a weekend of events leading up to the July 4th celebrations. More on what you can expect. That's after the break.
And later on, it was all hands on deck at Station 79 in Coachella. We'll show you this adorable rescue a little later on. Stay with us. Welcome back. Summer may just be starting for students, but the city of Palm Springs is already focusing on next school year, and their goal is to help all families have the supplies they need. The city will be hosting a backpack and supply giveaway. It's at Demuth Community Center on July 26th. Registration is required for each child, so be sure to visit the city's Facebook page to learn more on how you can sign up for those free supplies.
City of Palm Springs will be hosting a whole weekend of events leading up to Independence Day. Starts with a patriotic-themed kickoff party. It's at Village Fest on Thursday, July 3rd, and then a pool party in the afternoon over at the Palm Springs Swim Center. Palm Springs Power will also make an appearance as they go head-to-head with the Power Collegiate League All-Stars. It all culminates with a concert at the park at Sunrise Park, finishing off with a fireworks show.
Got a live look outside from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera, but before we get into any of that, we have Father's Day this weekend, and our Chloe Carlson is tracking that extended forecast right after the break. Stay with us.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news.
And happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 cam in Rancho Mirage, giving you a different view today of the river. I've said it once, I'll say it again. They need to change that into a pool because that looks really fun to dive into, but don't do that because that is not allowed at the moment until they change it. You can go sit on the patio this evening once the sun goes down. 107.4 the high today, so we are right on par for what we were forecasting today. Above average conditions, a trend, like I said, that we will see continue for the foreseeable future. 88 right now in Yucca Valley, 101 on the southeast and in Indio, 106, 4,000 Palms overnight. I forgot I changed the slides here. Just to show you how different it is at the coast, they get a little bit of that cloud cover. Take a look at this. 106 right now in Palm Springs. Take a look at those coastal cities. We love the heat here in the desert, but just in case you need a little break, look at the temperatures right now at Oceanside. 66 degrees, Oceanside 65 in San Diego with that cloud cover. Overnight for us here, there we go, 70s overnight for us here on the desert floor. As far as surface moisture, we are going to be staying dry and getting even drier into the weekend. Single-digit relative humidity Saturday and Sunday. Winds a little bit gusty, as I was mentioning with Olivia earlier. We'll be picking up for the wind corridor there today and into our Friday. Breezy for the weekend. Ridge of high pressure will be inching closer to the western part of Arizona as we get into the weekend. So Sunday going to be the hottest day of the year thus far. 111 to 115 for our Sunday highs. There's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. So again, 106 for our Friday. Temperatures start to slowly ramp up Saturday. We're 114. Peak temperatures on Sunday. We'll cool back down to 107 by next Thursday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. Each month at the Indian Wells Golf Resort, we showcase a signature hole with Director of Golf Joe Williams. Now, the summer resort is making sure that, summer rounds are rewarded with a new cooling system on their golf carts. Take a look.
So normally, 18, you're playing this the back. Obviously, the end of the day, your sun's not directly in your face like this.
No, so this is a tough shot early in the morning, but later in the day, this hole, you're going to be warmed up, probably going to hit less than driver off the tee, as I did, set yourself up for a birdie. But in the afternoon, you know, in the desert, it can get a little warm, so I think we're really fortunate that here at Indian Wells, we can put these misters on and cool us right down.
This is fascinating to me that this is the first in the not only the valley.
First misters in a fleet of golf carts in the nation.
That's unbelievable.
And with our desert heat, we're hoping that the coolness that the mist provides will make your round something that's enjoyable. Cooler Carts is the company that makes these, and their claim is that on a hot desert day, this may cool us 30 to 35 degrees.
Why?
So on one of our 120-degree days, your golf cart might feel like it's 90 degrees when you're in it.
What took 50 years to put this together? This is genius.
So, yeah, you know what? Yeah, when I saw this, it was one of those that, you know, it was a no-brainer for me. It was a really hot summer last year, and if we can make your rounds enjoyable and play golf year-round in the desert, that's kind of what we're striving for. And we've got these installed on 80 of our golf carts, so any of the players that are playing this summer are going to take advantage of this. It's got a fan, it's got mist, 3 hours of continuous mist, so not quite good for an entire round of golf, so we ask that you shut it off when you go to the tee and the green, and you're going to want to do that anyway because it does produce a decent mist. Your seat's going to get wet if you leave it running for 20-30 seconds. Really just an added incentive to come out and play golf at Indian Wells.
It's refreshing, just the few seconds there we had it on. Yeah. You could feel it in the face. And it's not like one of those where, you know, the restaurants, the bars, they have them come down. You don't really feel it. This is directly on you.
And adjustable, so I can move this. If I'm getting too much mist, I'm going to aim it left.
Let it blow.
Depends on the wind. And then if I want a more powerful mist, I'm going to turn this fan on and it's going to blow it right at us. So you can see that this is why Indian Wells is going to be the coolest place in the desert.
You can, of course, play around this summer by booking a tee time at IndianWellsGolfResort.com. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Let's end with something sweet tonight. Today at Station 79 in Coachella, firefighters responded to a report of meowing coming from a car engine. When crews arrived, they found that sweet little kitten trapped deep in the vehicle's undercarriage. But thanks to the quick action of some CAL FIRE firefighters, they were able to bring the kitten to safety. Look at that sweet little face. Animal Control was notified to provide some proper care for the little survivor, who's now ready for a well-deserved cat nap.
That kitten looks like it's only like a few days old. It was so little.
I'm kind of thinking with the CAL FIRE theme, the color, maybe we name her Smokey or, you know, something.
There you go.
I don't know who had better whiskers, the cat or the firefighter.
That's a debate.
He had a little
Solid
stash going there. Was
Oh, look at the legs.
That's so cute.
Adorable.
There we go. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Nightly News is next, and we're back here tonight with the latest headlines coming up at 6 p.m. We hope to see you then.